Hi friends, welcome to the part 12 of this playlist. We are looking at DevOps professional real certification questions. Please hit the subscribe button if you want to become a subscriber. The advantage you will get is you will get communications and alerts on contents that gets published around AWS, GCP, Azure cloud certifications and other products like Snowflake and so on. Do not forget to click the join button below this video. The first button, the gray button below this video, you can find the join button, and this will help you gain some unlimited access to more content around certifications. That means more questions, more concepts, and together with these free content and paid content, the chances of clearing the certification is very high. Now let us jump into the questions here. See, a company is having a web application, and where they have put the web application, see, in the AWS world you have two places. Either you can put it on S3. Okay, when will you put it on S3? That means it is a static website, static content. But if it is a dynamic website, you can put it on EC2 instances itself. So that is what the question says. They have put this on a EC2 instance, and obviously any website will need data storage, and that will be done in a database, and that is why they have RDS for SQL as a database where they are storing the data for the website. Now they are doing it on a single AZ. So what is the disadvantage of single AZ is if the AZ fails, the website will go down. So these resources which are on a single AZ, there is a reason they have put it on a single AZ, because whenever a new deployment comes, only then it has to work. And only when means when it is one or more times in a week, and for 2 to 3 hours. That is the frequency. So the frequency is low, right? You do not need a very high uptime. That is why single AZ can work, because even if it goes down, we are not accessing this so frequently. And the question does not say that this is a critical application. Now, these guys do not want to change the architecture components. Okay, so our requirement starts from this place. The resources you need to run only when deployments are being tested. So, like I told you, it is less frequent, and you have to propose a solution out of these four. So the first one says that you convert RDS to Aurora serverless. Now, what did the question say? A solution that does not change the architectural components and most cost effective. So A will change the architecture components. No, RDS is a database you are not supposed to change, but here they are saying change it to Aurora. So this is wrong. Now B, they are telling that we will put EC2 in a auto scaling group. Auto scaling is fine. Auto scaling, what is the advantage? Suppose now 10 users are there. You have one instance taking care. Now suddenly 100 users are accessing it. Auto scaling will add two more EC2 instances. So total 3 instances you will get. You can configure it the way you want. If you want to add 5 more, 10 more, 1 more, whatever you can do. So that is auto scaling group. But here is this guy is saying that they will put the EC2 instances in auto scaling. Okay. Now the first thing is, nowhere, see, auto scaling when we use is when the question, see, you are a doctor, right? You want to understand the symptoms. The patient, that is a question, does not give you symptoms that they are facing performance issues. So why does this auto scaling group come into play? There is no such symptom. The patient is, if the patient is telling that he or she has a headache, don't give her medicines to treat the leg. See here, C, option C, they are saying that, hey boss, let's convert it to a spot instance. Why they are saying? Because it is very infrequently used, no? So that's why they are saying that, oh, let's convert to a spot instance and convert RDS database and make it a reserved instance. See, we have to do it in a cost effective manner, right? This one, cost effective. Now spot instances will make it cost effective, but this reserved instance will not make it cost effective. See, when the question says do not change architectural components, that means what are the architectural components here? Can you tell me? Can you think about it? See, one architectural component is EC2, another architectural component is RDS. These are the two components, and third is actually AZ is not an architectural component, but these are your two components which you have, okay, and you are using code pipeline. Now you don't have to change anything. EC2 and RDS should be used. So option C is making use of EC2, is making use of RDS, but it is going for a reserved instance that is making it expensive. That's why C is wrong. Now D, see D, first thing is, are we keeping architectural components intact? That means EC2 and RDS, are these intact? Yes. You see here, they are making use of EC2, no changes to that. They are making use of RDS, no changes to that. So this requirement is met. Now another requirement is, will it work first? Okay. So what they are saying is, we will use event. See, primarily this option D is trying to give you a solution. A solution for what? A solution to start and stop the service automatically, so that it is cost effective. So is the solution most cost effective? Yes, it is, because it will start and stop the services before and after deployment tests. That means you will only pay for data storage in RDS. You will not pay for compute. The compute uptime is reduced, which is perfectly fine. Now, how they are achieving this? Through automation. What is that automation? That automation is called System Manager Automation Documents and Event CloudWatch Events. They are plugging these two components to automate the process so that you save on costs. Here you have Systems Manager Automation. So it will simplify maintenance, deployment, and remediation tasks. For which services? Services like EC2, which our question has, services like RDS, which our question has. So that is why this answer is correct. This is the next question, and what is happening here is they are making use of AWS Organization, which is used to manage your environment centrally, and that is what the question does. It is managing multiple accounts centrally. Now this company, it has a policy which is called information security policy, this one, and what it requires is all EBS volumes which are unencrypted must be marked as non-compliant. Like I explained you so many times in other videos also, in real life, clients want compliance every time. Okay, compliance can be compliance to a banking regulations, compliance to HIPAA regulations, or uh, various other industry regulations. So if you have this thing that none of your data can be stored in an unencrypted manner, then if you have EBS volumes lying around which are unencrypted, that is a cause of concern. Okay. Now, as a DevOps engineer, you need to automatically deploy this solution. That means you need to put a solution in place which is automatic. See, if there are hundreds of EBS volumes, manually someone cannot go and see if they are encrypted or not. You have to put a automated solution. And if even if manually someone is doing it, the problem is, if the instance gets created in the morning and data is inserted, the data is lying there for 12 hours, and then someone manually says, hey, you know what, this is unencrypted, let me encrypt it. That till that time any hacker can hack the data, no? They can misuse the data. So this is the question. We need to see, in a nutshell, you want to implement a policy which will automatically detect non-compliance. What non-compliance you have to detect? You have to detect unencrypted EBS volumes. Let us scan the options. The first option tells you to make use of cloud formation templates. See, cloud formation is a misfit here. The reason I'm saying is it's a misfit because this is infrastructure as a code. Suppose you have three EC2 instances which you want to create automatically, and you have some configuration parameters also. So you don't want to manually configure it. It should automatically get created with the configured settings. Then you can use these templates and deploy your EC2 instances. This is a, see, first of all, this question to answer, you need an automation solution. Now, is A an automation solution? Yes. But is it an automation for compliance? No, boss. This is an automation for automatically deploying resources on AWS. That is why A will not work. This is wrong. Plus, if you see, A has uh, made use of inspector rule. Inspector is a security solution. It is not a detection solution for unencryption. Now, option B, it is talking about making use of config. Okay, see, you can create your resources, and if you want to automatically configure them, or you want to assess the uh, configuration, like who changed. For example, one common thing that we use in real life is somebody created a EC2 instance like 6 months back, and somebody changed the configuration 3 months back. Now, if I am a new guy who's coming and want to see what changes were made to the EC2 instance configurations in the past, I can go to config and see those changes. That way I know who made these changes, when, why, and those things. Okay, that is the purpose of config. Plus config, you can have policies also. You can automatically, tell that, hey, you know what, I mean, config is a audit solution. First thing you should remember this, and this is what our question wants. Our question wants automated audit. So config is a audit solution, and this is very important. And we want a audit solution. So they are going to use the organization rule to check if EBS encryption is enabled. Okay, so that is fine, and they will deploy the rule using CLI, which is fine. And then they will create a SCP to prohibit stopping and deleting AWS config across the organization. Now SCP means service control policies. Okay, so you can enable and disable policies also. So this is a type of organizational policy. Now, why are you creating and applying a SCP to prohibit stopping and deleting configuration? Because see, once you create this rule, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can come and disable it. So you want to prohibit that. So that is why you want to create an SCP and say, even if someone tries to delete this rule, it will not be deleted. Okay, that is how you implement compliance purge. This is a perfect example of implementing compliance. So option B is a proactive solution. It will not even allow you to uh, create instances with unencrypted EBS. Now option C, see, it is telling that you implement SCP in organizations, and it will prevent this launch without encryption. And then you apply SCP to all AWS accounts, and then you use Athena to analyze CloudTrail output, looking for events that deny EC2 instruction. Okay. So see, one thing you should remember about SCP is it is not sufficient to grant permissions. It is just defining a guardrail. So nobody uses SCP to prevent launching EC2 instances. See, it's simple. When you have a built-in solution with AWS config, then do not create a custom solution. So that is a thumb rule which I have seen we should implement across for all certification exams. So what cloud platforms or cloud companies want to check is, if you have this requirement, do you have the understanding to use what is available in AWS? Do you know that AWS already has this feature? or do you go and create your own custom solution and do not use the AWS feature? Now custom solution may work sometimes. The problem is it may not work as efficiently. Second, it defeats the purpose of coming on cloud also to some extent, not drastically, but to some extent, because we are giving you tools and you are not making use of it. And option D, here we are talking about IAM role from a single trusted account, and then you build a pipeline with Lambda to assume the IAM role and list all IAM volumes in the account, publisher. So option D is not even trying to prevent launching of unencrypted instances. It is just giving you a report. What will you do that with that report? The kidnapping already happened. You have to prevent kidnapping. You have to prevent the theft. No, after theft, here this option D is telling, hey, you know what? A theft occurred at this time in this campus, that campus. What is the use of that? So B would be my final answer. Boss, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. You will get alerts on AWS, GCP, Google Cloud, that is, and Azure cloud certifications, other certifications also like Snowflake, Tableau, and this channel is dedicated to help you clear cloud certifications. So please make the most of it. Subscribe to it. There is also an option to join. You can click the join button, the gray button below this video, and there is a small premium you have to pay, but you will get access to more questions, more contents, more concepts. I'll post many more parts on DevOps Professional. Stay tuned. See you in the next part.